back. As I mentioned in the last episode, I wanted to talk about some more of the ideas I had, and I may end up doing these if I have more time, and maybe, especially if I have like an extra editor to kind of help me with the video editing stuff, because I've got projects all lined up across various different platforms, mostly audio, and then I've got this going on. But I don't want to try and overload myself. But if this channel blows up big enough that it becomes like an actual success that I can use, and I can get, I can actually pay somebody to help me edit and script and get everything that needs to be. I'm not just a one-man show trying to do these, because I think that's the other thing that you don't really see, is that you see it more in like the animation side of YouTube, that everybody gets credited for all the work they do, because in order to have a successful animation channel, you need like a literal in-house animation studio. Like, it's never just you doing the animation stuff usually, because otherwise it would take forever and you would never get your videos out in like enough of a fashion for your channel to be successful. You would get them out like once every 6 weeks if you were lucky and you're able to devote that much time to it. And that's if you're lucky and nothing goes wrong. I don't know how much of like and you're seeing it more in like and in terms of live action, you're seeing it more in like the Game Grumps. You're hearing references to Allie, their social media manager, and Brett, they've been mentioning Brett, their manager, and they mention all the different people behind the scenes who help out. And it's like, this isn't a two-man show over there. This isn't just Aaron and Danny talking into a mic and recording while Susie handles all the actual managerial stuff in the background. Like, it's more than that. It's an actual office and teams of people, and it takes a lot, and it takes a long time to get to that point, because you have to be making enough money to afford to hire those people. So if I get to that point, if this channel even gets to that point, I might try to do that for like Patreon stuff and then upload it on the main channel. But for right now, I'll just like talk about the ideas in more of a laid back kind of format, and and I'll just run, and we'll end this session running down all the other ideas I had. So we left off with the toxicity of the fandom and how fandoms ruin everything, and I have yet to find that to be true. Doctor Who, things that I've already mentioned, like I mentioned in the last episode: Star Wars, Star Trek, MLP, Transformers, the McElroys, just like literally everything. And if there are any like sociology or psychology grad students out there, take this idea and run with it. I would love to see what you come up with it. Look up what happened that fandoms ended up ruining so many different things, and how fandoms form, and how they end up getting so toxic, what leads to the toxicity. I would love to read, like, you could write a series of essays and theses on just how messed up fandoms get. And I make sure to mention that Pokemon fandom is one of the most prodigious in generating Rule 34 content, especially, and it gets especially taught. And I initially didn't want to include that, but then it hit me. A lot of the Rule 34, like the Rule 34 with the bestiality, that's one thing. Like anthropomorphized animals, furries, that's its own thing. That's not really as much of an issue. When it comes to an issue is, and both canonically and fan-made content, is the sexualization of characters who are like 12 and 14. And, like people will, I'm sure you can look up Rule 34 of Ash with Big, Honk, and Pecker. And he's 10. He is canonically 10 years old still. Even after 20 years, Ash is still 10 years old, and it really is just messed up how, you know, what some people will draw. And, you know, people are horny, I get it, but just, like, know your limits and try to handle yourself, man. So yeah, I was initially not going to include that, and then I made the realization that, oh yeah, the Rule 34 has made safe searching, has made you require safe searching for Pokemon characters. But now, of course, you're at the point where the people are literally, there's a mod out there. I don't know how real this is. It could just be, it may not even work. It may have just been a rumor, for all I know. I never read the article. But the word was starting to get around on social media of a whitewashed Nessa, who is the dynamite, wonderful, lovely, amazing Galarian gym leader, the water-type gym leader. And as soon as she was introduced, she was amazing. I loved her because she's just got an amazing design aspect to her. And people have been whitewashing her to, quote, fix the game. And if you're spending your time whitewashing black characters so that you don't have to interact with color, like Hop and Leon are also characters of color. They're darker skinned. So is that saying... I don't know. That's why I'm wondering how that functions. Like, is it just Nessa because people are fans of Nessa and nobody gives a shit about Hop and Leon? Because I mean, Nessa's not the only character of color. Like, you're talking about an entire series of NPCs as well that are people of color, and that's been in the game since X and Y. No, actually, no, that's been in the game since, like, Black and White. I really do feel bad about the normal gym leader that got removed from Black and White 2. I think the problem was they needed to, like, redesign her, because I get why. In a series that unfortunately created a character that resembled blackface, you know, in the same time period that they also had Mr. Popo. I get why they didn't want to make it look like they were continuing that trend with a character that is essentially a mammy. And for those who don't remember, we're talking about the Black and White gym leader, the normal type gym leader. I don't remember her name. Let me pull it up. Gym leader. There we go. Lenora. And I know she's in the anime too. She's not as bad. I think it's because there we go. The in-game sprite, there's the problem. When she doesn't have her apron on, she looks great. But the apron, especially in the in-game sprite, is the biggest issue. Let me take a look at her in the anime. I think she looks a little bit better in the anime, but it's still a major problem. Like, I get it. It's hard when you are aware of the mammy stereotype, and if you aren't, there's a character, you know, it's in the Gone with the Wind. Tom and Jerry's owner was a mammy stereotype. It's basically the housemaid. She's a housekeeper, and that's why, you know, the apron's on, and she's not as bad. I mean, like design-wise, if she didn't have the apron, she would be fine. Yeah, like in Generations, she looks fine. She looks actually really good. And in the Pokemon Adventures manga, she looks fine. It's that mammy stereotyping. That it's just the mammy design. Lenora got screwed over by, you know, as much as people were like, PC culture, SJWs getting offended by everything. That stereotype is literally being sold on the shelves right now. The mammy stereotype is being used to sell maple syrup and pancakes. Like, it still exists, and people aren't even paying attention to it. So yeah, maybe we should kind of acknowledge that, hey, this stereotype isn't necessarily a good thing. Maybe we should stop it. I don't know. Just my thing. I'm okay with stopping things. That's why I would rather have Lenora go through a redesign and come back rather than just bury. That's worse. That's even worse. People are like, oh, look now you don't have any. It's like, we didn't want to not have any. We wanted you to fix it. Throwing it away doesn't fix it, damn it. I always do. This is why, people, as much as people complain about, oh my god, the A button, I hit the A button by accident, now I have to talk to this woman again. Nah, it's just hit the B button. Just do the same thing, just hit the B button. And once the Pokemon are healed, hit the B button. Anyway, no, but like, we don't want Lenora to not be there, we just want a better design for her. And that's why, like, Nessa is great, is a great design. It's like, and of course everyone's got like athletic suits, so it works great. So Nessa's design works in the same vein as all the other gym leaders of that region, and all the gym leaders of Galar have like a really interesting, like, there's a freaking like opera like diva. there's an opera, or like a one of those old ladies that goes to the opera, you know, she's a gym leader, you know. And then the designs in oh my god, what's her name, Opal? Not Opal, what's her name? Like, Olivia is the design that could very, very likely go very badly if you don't do it right. And Game Freak nailed her design, I think. Like, she's beautiful, but she's got like this really unique costuming to her. She's someone that you can definitely cosplay as and like nail it and make it amazing. Yeah, I need to see if there how many Olivia cosplays there are out there, because I'm here for that, because it's a genuinely solid design. God damn it. First Happy was the problem, now Buzz can't level up. Hey, alright. Let's knock out this Pidgey, and then we'll just continue onward. Buzz can take a break. But yeah, like, I'm glad that Game Freak didn't, you know, after the whole thing with Lenora, didn't just decide, oh, we gotta hide, no more people of color, we don't want to piss anybody off. It's like, no, we messed up. I think they would have been better off to redesign her than to just completely bury her and replace her with Charon. I think having her come back for, although, given that it is a sequel, having Charon take over, I don't know if she even, I don't know if she shows up or not in Black and White 2. I haven't played that in a while. Maybe, hopefully she does, because I would hate for her to just be like left out of the universe because of the controversy. But yeah, it's, why did I switch over to Pecker? Oh, that's right, I didn't put Happy up front. Alright, well, I'll get Pecker to level 9, and I'll get Happy evolved, and then we'll worry about Buzz. So yeah, Game Freak's getting better, and like, I think since Lenora, they've figured out like, okay, we need to pay, you know, I think their staff is a lot more international now, especially now that they're part of like a whole entity, the Pokemon Company. So like, they have more people who can say like, yeah, no, how about we not do this? That way they're not getting in trouble like they did with like the inclusion of the swastikas on old Pokemon cards, or you know, like various different things. They're like, hey, here's a thing from that's really controversial in some other country, but we have no idea what it is. You know, I'm kind of glad that it's not too bad, but like, you know, the internationalization of Japan, but you know, Japan becoming more prominent in the international community has definitely allowed for them to acknowledge their more problematic pop culture, things, and then they can get better. That's good. That's always a good thing. Getting better is a good thing. And Pecker learned Leer. Now my Pecker can leer at you. I am an adult. I'm not going to worry so much about Thormouse for right now. Actually, you know what? Why am I worried about Buzz? Let me get, oh, that's right. I can't do it until level 12. He doesn't learn Confusion until after he evolves. That's right. It's gonna take a while, but I think I can manage. I think we'll end with Happy leveling up. Next episode will be some more grinding and getting Happy to learn Confusion. Once Happy learns Confusion, I'll be ready to face Brock. and then but even, you know, so I'll get like Happy Learn Confusion as a backup, because I do remember in the Twitch stream I actually used my trick because of the it was even before the special attack defense split. I mean, forget the physical special split. We're talking pre-special attack defense split in Gen 2. Because of that, Ember does significantly more damage than you would think to a rock type, even though it's not very effective. So even though rock resists fire, it does because rock type Pokemon didn't have high specials. They took more damage from Pokemon that did have higher specials. Because Gen 1 was busted. Thank you, Gen 1ers. I am glad that Guts is a normal type move at this point in time, though, because Happy would not last a chance against these Pidgeys. Sometimes it feels shorter than it is, and sometimes it feels like it takes forever. That's why I'm kind of glad that they've started to make it, make the leveling versus wild Pokemon a little easier, just because the grinding is the hardest part. It's always been the pain in the ass. It's why I don't play a lot of RPGs. Pokemon's the only one with a lot of heavy grinding that I actually continuously play, and they've eased up on the grinding to make it more accessible and just make it more fun to play. And a bunch of douchey gatekeepers think that's a bad thing because it needs to be hard so we can weed out the non-fans. I'm a real fan. I like it when it's hard and rough, and I don't care either way. I kind of prefer it when it can just play the game for fun and not have to worry about, like, spending 50 minutes, battling random Pokemon in the bushes just to gain, like, one level up. And I think, like, having them level up easier early on also makes it more like you don't have to drag your heels until you're getting into, like, the end game, and that's when it's nose to the grindstone. Just knock down as many as you can. Try to just be like, whatever it takes. Happy, come on, just knock out the Pidge. Knock out the Pidge. Happy, I'm telling you, knock out the Pidge. I don't care how many times you got sand attacked. You knock out the Pidge. You can get sand attacked all day. Just knock out the Pidge. Knock out the Pidge. Alright, fine. Get in there, Buzz. Gotta get right back to the Pokemon Center and heal up Happy so he can finally level up. Game takes forever. Probably why you don't see too many people playing this version of the game. They play like Fire Red and Leaf Green, or Let's Go. Hey, Buzz leveled up. There we go. Okay. Yeah, or they're playing like, games that aren't buggy, hot messes that take forever. They're Pokemon games with more polish. Tell you what's going to be interesting is going from this to the card game, because I'm recording this before I record the card games, and that's going to play wildly differently, and I think I'm going to get a lot more done in the same amount of time versus here, where it's just like, it took me like 2 hours and I'm not even to the first, but that's not fair. It took me like 3 hours to get to the first gym in Sword and Shield. Well, specifically in Shield. So, I mean, it took me for, getting to the first gym is not, it takes a lot longer than people think, because even though it's in like, like the next town over, you still have to like level up your Pokemon and get things ready, prepared to face them. And especially if you're like, since so many of them start off as like rock gyms, then you have to figure out, if you don't have a water or grass type starter, just how you're going to take them out. Sometimes you have to use bugs and bits, little things like that in the system to get around the fact that you don't have a grass or water starter, so it's not going to be easy. Bulbasaur, I will say this, Bulbasaur is a good boy. He's a very good onion boy. He is Gen 1 on easy mode, because he can take down the majority of he can help at least he's at least beneficial to the majority of the gym matches. He can take down the first 3 gyms because he's super effective against the first 2 and resists the second. If you got some decent movesets on him besides grass, he can help with the 4th gym. The only ones he isn't good at are the Psychic, the Poison, and the Fire gym. He's also going to be super effective against the last gym, too. It's the only time Bulbasaur is not going to be any good is against League 4. Also, Happy evolved into Butterfree, so yippee! That's it for the Adventures of Jonno the PokéManiac for now, and we'll see you next time when hopefully we'll get Happy to level 12 and we can actually face Brock. So, see you then, bye!